The werewolf?
For my money, a copycat.
We can't rule it out. We need to work the evidence.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? A big head to hang on your wall. The caller of the decade. You've been working evidence on BD case for 6 months and got nicks.
There's a difference, Rusty.
Oh, yeah?
I just started working it today.
Okay, hotshot. What's more likely? The werewolf comes back around, leaving us a note on a corpse?
He clearly has a thing for power. Power over women. Why not power over the police department as well?
Let me finish, Phelps. A guy opens his mouth again after 6 months of stoom. Or some opportunist who's been reading about the BD figures he'll rip off the MO and get himself a freebie.
That's not totally fantastical.
You know, the Examiner and the Daily News might be good at coming up with monikers, but they're terrible for police work. There's a reason we didn't get the son of a bitch after the short murder. It was them, locusts.
Where do you think the werewolf killer is now?
Dead by his own hand, stationed somewhere else with the armed forces. San Quentin, another town, another country, who knows? Give me a break!
What? So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. We would have found him.
KGPL 20 Century
Sure you
and
would.
the citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between
Man?
4th and 5th. Any Century unit
You
identified.
have another assignment there, Central?
Meu Deus.
Jesus, Phelps!
Oh no.
KGPL 20 Century unit. The citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between 4th and 5th. Any Century unit identified.
Essa aí.
Please, you gotta call for help. He doesn't look real good.
Quick, what happened?
Some punk held up my stand. This guy tried to help and got a bullet for his trouble. He got hit and hightailed it through the parking lot. Get going.
A porra.
You come any closer, I'll pull the trigger.
Put the weapon down, now!
What the hell? What are you waiting for?
Morreu.
Up and at him. Goddamn bum!
A câmera não vira.
A sensibilidade só afetou o aim. Porra, mano.
Car 11K calling KGPL. Shots fired. Suspect is down. We're code 4, but I need an ambulance on Grand between 4th and 5th Streets.
11K, roger on your ambulance. All units be advised the suspect is down on Grand between 4th and 5th Streets. Repeat, the suspect is down.
You know the
on
way.
4.
You can drive.
Dirigir essa merda.
Continue to respond.
I'm at a loss.
Eu não tenho nada a dizer. Porra, Rush aí é foda.
Gentlemen, what can I get you?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Were you working here last night?
Yes. How can I help, officer?
You can start with your name.
Garrett Mason.
You're the regular bartender on nights?
I'm a temporary barman. I work for an agency. I fill in at bars across town.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Hibiscus.
Fire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched. Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
Unless you'd like a drink too, officer, there's not a lot I can do for you.
Não, dá drink então.
Refill my coffee next time, honey.
Who are you talking to?
What the fuck? Esquizofrênico, mano.
I started my shift 20 minutes ago. You're better off talking to the bartender.
From the house, officer.
That's the spirit. Pour me another.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
Where's that goddamn?
I can tell you're lying. Your lips are moving.
What?
I don't think you're a fool. But then what's my opinion against thousands of others?
So, how's your tuna fish salad?
My eggs were runny.
That's good.
My eggs.
2 peanuts were walking on the street. One was assaulted.
Oxi.
Essa foi boa, hein? Puta
Essa-
que pariu, essa foi boa.
Essa foi zica. One was
Detective
assault.
Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. Do you know her?
Celine? Christ. Sure. I know
Celine
her.
Dion.
She and I and Jacob, her husband, we go way back.
She was here last night?
Sure, she's a regular. Celine was a lovely woman.
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Not at first. Celine already had quite a head start.
But she attracted attention?
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
You know him?
No. He's been in a couple of times.
Did they leave together?
Yes. At around 11. If it helps, I made the guy's license plate.
I think this could be a great help, sir. Thank you. Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
It was you.
Ficou nervoso aí por quê? Você comprou?
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're gonna tell me.
Okay. I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Celine in those days. Guess I always have. Her old man never knew about it.
You know the husband?
Sure I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. He put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
nervoso.
If you're waiting for a free drink, it ain't coming.
So if it wasn't Jacob, then you probably let her out of here with the guy who killed her. How do you feel about that?
Stow the attitude, will ya? I tried to get onto Jacob. I rang him up. Asked him to come pick her up like usual. But he refused. She picked some night to push him over the edge. I rang him back around 11:30, but got no answer.
Thanks, Mr. McCall. You've been a big help. One more thing. Would you have an address for Celine?
142 North Union Avenue. God knows I had to send her home in enough cabs to remember that.
Porque ela não ficou com
He
você.
drove me up to Mulholland and we did some wrecking.
A waitress, can I have another spoon?
Another spoon?
Say, honey, what time do you get off waiting tables?
I think he's a bit of a ganguero, but treats me nice.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
Meu Deus.
You're a modest little person with much to be modest about.
You ought to meet
Meu...
Buddy. He's nice.
Caralho, o Russ é bom. Atravessou a porta. Ele já entrou no carro, ele tá lá sentadinho.
Over here, Rusty.
I'm busy here, Phelps.
Tá ocupado sentado no carro.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
True boy.
Yes, Detective. I'll need to contact the
Two
DMV.
boys?
Shall I relay the details via KGPL?
Please.
True boy.
Thanks, man.
Será que é assim que chamam?
É tio B. Só que em vez de falar a letra, ele fala uma palavra com a letra. Me dá esse cara.
Tipo, ó. Caralho, isso é bonito. Isso é novo, né?
Police emergency, out of the car.
You're the police?
Oh, yeah.
You're the police?
Lincoln Model K Convertible Roadster.
Bonito.
Rusty!
Double time, Rusty.
Rusty.
Double
Take
time.
your shirt off, Tommy.
What?
Você tá
Nossa.
com...
You find the booze helps you get through a working day?
Sharpens my investigatory instincts, Phelps.
A smart lawyer might use that to throw out anything you collect today.
A smart man might know it's unwise to stand between the patient and his medicine.
As long as you're not falling over, Rusty, I'll let it slide.
That's mighty kind of you, Phelps. You know, you picked the wrong job if a healthy thirst offends you, Cole.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
Always the politician.
It's not political, it's practical. Maybe the men combing Hollywood Boulevard after the Elizabeth Short murder were more interested in sniffing out booze than the clues that would have led to her killer.
Yeah, well, if only you'd been there, choir boy. Betty Short would be alive, the Japs would have spared Pearl Harbor, our ancestors wouldn't have tasted the forbidden fruit.
Minor syntactical error, Detective Galloway. I never claimed to be able to prevent crimes. I only suggested a proficiency in solving them. Guess that's the drink slowing you down.
Oh my God, brother, oh brother. It's worse than I could ever have imagined.
Caralho, Rusty aí é foda. Você me ouviu?
Yeah.